Hey everyone, this is Sarah, the Catholic Homemaker. Today I wanted to do another anti-MLM video. It's been a while since I did one, and there's a reason for that. First of all, I wanted to do a quick disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. This is all about my own experiences. So, the reason for me waiting a while to do another anti-MLM video, I wasn't sure if I was going to get back into my experiences with it or not, simply because I just kind of had this internal feeling, just based on the whole experiences on both sides, that I might be being too negative. And I certainly didn't want people to feel too condemned or too judgmental towards others. I'm not doing that at all. I'm not condemning anyone who's currently in it or considering it. I just wanted to share my experiences because I just ultimately think it's a bad business model and it hurts a lot of people. A lot of people probably don't realize that they're hurting people, but I simply want to share my experiences so that it might help others who are considering joining, or others who are in it, and especially others who want to get out and who are in it and it's hard to leave. So the big regret I have, or one of the regrets that I wanted to talk about, is that joining MLMs and working in them took my focus off of blogging, which is what I was really loving and enjoying doing and was planning on leaving my job for, because I was so passionate about it. Whether it was with YouTube or on my website, I enjoyed doing it very much, and I still do to this day. So that's why I've been focusing so much on YouTube in the past year. I haven't missed a single week releasing a video over the past year, so I'm really proud of that. And just unfortunately, being part of an MLM or multiple MLMs took my focus off of that, what I loved. And just a little backstory, if you haven't seen some of my other videos talking about this, I was in a corporate job for several years after college before I had my first daughter, and I really hated that job. It was a great company to work for, by the way, great people and everything, but I just really did not like the career that I was in. I wanted something completely different. As soon as I joined that company, not long after that, I just knew it wasn't the right thing for me anymore, and I just didn't have anything to fall back on. So it was hard to leave, and I was looking for a way to leave. And so unfortunately, that's kind of what MLMs, that's how I got sucked into them, and essentially because I was looking for a way to make, at the time when I was single, joining MLMs, actually just the one time when I was single joining MLMs, I was looking for a full-time income to fall back onto. That was with doTERRA, because at the time I was single, and it was the second MLM I ever joined in, but I didn't realize it was the second one. I thought it was the first one, but I saw the potential on their not their income statement, but their the way you can make money in the company. That was all shared with me, and it looked like really great, and they make it look so easy to do. And I was looking for a way to make a full-time income to leave my job, and I thought, oh, this is so possible. And I was, encouraged for that so much. So like, yeah, I did it this way, and now I'm working here, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm selling to these people, and they made it sound so easy. And that's the whole sales pitch, right? So when I did doTERRA, that I thought that was possible, and then like years after that is when I joined the other ones. Beauty Counter was the first one, the first time I joined Beauty Counter, and I was just kind of looking as a way to do like affiliate income through my blogging. But I did not realize that it was gonna take so much time and so little time I had to afford to give because I was working a full-time job. I didn't know it was gonna take so much time out on my schedule. If I did, I would have never joined it. So, I was spending a lot of my free time at the time when I joined Beauty Counter and the others a few months later on blogging because I really wanted to leave my job. And at the time I was, I had just gotten married to my husband and I was looking for a way to leave, but I was looking to fall back on some income at least that we could bring in. I didn't have another career to fall back onto that was enjoyable to me, and kind of the stipulation for me is I have to do something that I actually love and enjoy, and so that left very few options for me, at least for how I knew how to make an income. And that's how these MLMs sucked me in, as I said, because they said there's all this potential for making income, and it was a complete lie, really, because I have gone through all the numbers, all the information that I have collected on just my receipts and everything that I still have, and I didn't make a profit with a single one of these 11 companies that I joined. I didn't even break even on a single one. I think I came close to breaking even on a couple of them, but it's just the sad truth that is so hard to admit that I did not make any money on any of these. I lost a bunch of money on all of them. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars that I lost. Thankfully, I didn't go into debt, but really, if you're in an MLM, please do the numbers. Look at all of your receipts, your mileage, anything related to expenses that you are putting into this MLM, and look on the piece of paper and see if you're actually making a profit. If you're not, you really need to step back and say, is this worth it? And it was hard for me for some of them because they had like monthly auto ships, and if you didn't do it, you didn't get paid. Or I know 2 of them that I was part of like that were My Essence and Purium, and it was really hard for me to step back from that because I was like, oh no, I'm actually bringing in money from this, but then the amount that I was spending on the auto ship every single month was not enough to the amount that I was spending was more than what I was bringing in from people buying things from me. So I was getting income from probably people who have found a couple articles on my website that link to those products. But yeah, it wasn't enough to cover my auto ship every single month. And I told this to my upline for that and for another one, and she just simply said that, oh, well, I thought you would have used those products in your daily life anyway. And they really weren't. They were like excessive things that weren't necessary. Like, I'm not using any of that stuff anymore, but it was like fruit powder. Like, that was like the best thing I could find, but I could simply just eat fruit or vegetables in my regular diet, which I do anyway. But it was like, getting that extra nutrition in. But then it was like other like rare supplements that I wouldn't have needed anyway. It's like fulvic acid. And sometimes, yes, people need things like that, but you can buy those products and high quality products outside of an MLM, which probably and most likely are less expensive than the MLM products because most of them are very overpriced. And I can definitely say that for My Essence and Purium. Those are very, very expensive products. And you can find probably equal value products that are non-MLM outside of that, because the reality that we all know about MLMs is the prices are inflated to pay for the MLM consultants, who are really the middlemen. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. It just took my focus off of blogging, which I mean, my time was very valuable and still is very valuable, because I'm a stay-at-home mother and I don't want to spend too much time away from my children that I don't have to. That's kind of the whole reason I'm looking for a side job or something that that can bring in some income for our family, but also not spend too much time away from my children like a full-time job would. So, you know, when I was in MLMs after having children, some of that time was taking away from time I could have been spending with my children, or quality time. Because, you know, I was never like too crazy about being on my phone like some people are, because I've heard stories of people in MLMs who are on their phone like all day long just for the MLM, and that was never me. But there's just such intense pressure to perform, and the reality is that's because your uplines are making a percentage of the income that you are bringing in for them, or maybe money that you're just simply spending on the products that's gonna get them a profit. And a lot of the times you're questioned, why are you focusing on other things? Like, this is the only important thing. I'm gonna share with you guys the companies that I joined that I think are the worst offenders in this thing, and maybe it simply just depends on who your upline is or who's on your team. The absolute worst pressure that I ever got was with Monate, and maybe it was just simply who my upline was, but you know, I got gaslighted a couple of times by her, and just, you know, comparing me to other people on the team, saying like, what, you're making these excuses that you're trying to spend time with your daughter, you're trying to be a mother. Like, look at all these other people on the team. They have kids, they're going to their jobs, and look at all these things that they accomplished on the team. Like, how dare you do what you're doing? And I was just completely shocked. But I was just, from the culture of that team that I was in, I was just questioning, like, oh, maybe she's a little right. I felt bad. I felt guilty based on what she told me. But I mean, reflecting on it now, I think it's terrible. Because you're not making money. Most people don't make money. It's like 99.7% of people don't make money in an MLM. So it's just, the cards are all stacked against you. That's just the sad reality of it. The other worst offenders of all the ones I joined are Juice Plus, Prime My Body, Canaway, and Purium. I would say Juice Plus especially, like, I was being constantly contacted by my uplines, and you know, they were saying that they were trying to help or whatever, but I always felt like I had to justify myself to them. Some of these teams, they like to share on I think it's called Voxer, the app. And so it's like you're always getting these voice messages from them, and you know, having to answer to them, like all these check-ins, and it's really time consuming listening to all these things. And they tell you to listen to these team calls or join into the team calls, do all these self-help things. And I didn't follow all those things because it was just honestly like way too time consuming. I'm like, I don't have all the time to do this, and I don't feel like it's really helping. I was just looking for something that was more trying to focus on the income. But the main point in all this is I hope my experience helps you, because if I knew what I knew now, I would have never joined them, because that was just a complete waste of time, other than the fact that maybe I learned a very valuable lesson, a very slow, hard lesson, but not to join them, because you don't make a profit. Most people don't. And there's just so many other parts of it that are problematic, but that was my ultimate goal when I joined them, was to make extra money for myself or for our family. And unfortunately that didn't happen, or maybe it's fortunate, because I learned why MLMs are such a problem. And as a Catholic, as a Christian, I just think they're wrong and they hurt a lot of people. So I hope you found this video to be helpful. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification for all notifications so you know when I post. Until next time, bye, and God bless you.